insane to me that we are sitting here criticizing the ATF because they retaliated with deadly force after someone shot an agent.
Nobody disputes that when a law enforcement is fired upon, that they have a right to fire back. The point is that everything that created that situation was incompetent, unnecessary, and reckless, and it defied the law.
Federal lawmakers debating at length today the death of Little Rock Airport Executive Director Bryan Malinowski.
He died in March after a shooting with ATF agents, and one of the agents was injured as they executed a search warrant at Malinowski's home. Details into how and why it happened are still being investigated.
Our Neil Zerang joining us live in studio this evening after listening to today's hearing. Neil, what did you walk away with after listening to this?
Kevin and Donna, one thing very interesting to me, the attorney for Malinowski's family was testifying as a witness, and he said that ATF agents were all set to raid Bryan Malinowski's home a week before they did, but they abandoned that attempt because they learned he was not there.
A weaponization of the federal government in its true form.
We have probable cause. An ATF agent was shot.
Arkansas is at the center of a discussion of what is right and what is wrong for federal government.
Somebody's dead because the ATF decided to execute a warrant in the most unprofessional, irresponsible, and dangerous way.
Bryan Malinowski died March 19th as a result of an ATF search warrant where he fired at agents. An affidavit shows Malinowski sold guns at gun shows from his personal collection at a rate they say crossed a line for a private seller to avoid requiring a federal firearms license.
I want to make it clear that we have far too many loopholes in our system.
Malinowski's attorney, Bud Cummins, told the U.S. House of Representatives that the line is very murky and the ATF should have taken less drastic action.
He loved his career, and if anybody had ever suggested to him that his weekend hobby was in any way threatening that, he would have immediately been hands off. But nobody told him.
57 seconds elapsed between the time ATF agents covered the lens of a doorbell camera on the family's front door to when Cummins says Malinowski was shot in the forehead. He also believes the power to the home was cut, but is unsure. The reasoning and circumstances of the home search warrant were questioned, but also supported.
We're making a big deal out of the 6 a.m. here, but that is the standard time that law enforcement executes arrest warrants and executes search warrants.
One thing that was not standard procedure was the lack of body cameras. According to Cummins, neither the ATF nor the Little Rock police officers present were wearing any. If true, it goes against a 2021 presidential policy. Lawmakers said Wednesday only a third of ATF agents currently wear them.
I have specifically requested from Congress the funding so that everyone can wear those body cams, and my colleagues have denied that.
Malinowski's widow, Mare, was present but didn't testify. The only thing on her lips were the tears as they rolled down her face.
And Ms. Malinowski, I feel like we owe you an apology on behalf of the American government. He doesn't know he's being investigated. There's no letter that's sent that you need to cease and desist of what you're doing, or we would like to have a conversation with you. It sits hard with me because I would react the exact same way.
It's inappropriate to be drawing conclusions before the results of an investigation are released. We do know from affidavits from the court that it was alleged that Mr. Malinowski was a mass gun trafficker.
Whether any changes come from the deadly search warrant is yet to be seen.
There were lots of less invasive means, and I just hope that we can find a way in statute or in practice to be able to say, let's do it that way more often.
Malinowski's job as the Little Rock Airport director was brought up as an example for why the ATF changed their rules for what requires a private seller to get a federal firearms license. ATF removed any language of the private gun sales having to be linked to a person's livelihood or the main source of their income. So now it applies to those who sell guns predominantly to earn a profit. Malinowski could sell many guns because he didn't rely on those gun sales for his primary source of income because he was the highest paid official in Little Rock's government. Tomorrow at 9, the same committee you just saw will be meeting again and questioning the ATF director on the search warrant on the Malinowski home. Neil Zerang, Fox 16 News.